Okay, first I want to thank Hashem for giving me the pleasure of finishing Shas Mishnah for my 9th time. First time I did it was over 20 years ago when Neve Tzion. One thing Neve Tzion does is they sell aliyahs for Simchas Torah, meaning Simchas Torah, but they don't sell by money as most shuls do. They sell by what you're going to learn. So one rabbi gets Gemara, you sell by Gemara how much dafs of Gemara you're going to use. Another rabbi uses halacha, philosophy. I bought for the Menahel Mishnah. I did it. First time, 2 times I did it was in yeshiva. Thank God I've been keeping up. People say to me how wonderful it is. How do you keep up with it? I tell them, it's a pretty goal in your mind. It's like when you go to yeshiva and you learn, or your rabbi has a shir. He comes and he has to prepare. He knows he has a goal to prepare for, that he has to come. He makes it his priority, like a time clock in his body. And this is the time for this is the time for that. At least I found that since I work in the mornings, I have the afternoons. I learn in the afternoons. I do it on my own, Nishma. So when I come up after heaven, after 120, Hashem will say, did you learn? I'm like, yes, look, I worked, I learned. I did whatever he said. Even though I was poor or this, I learned. Because it said more states that when you go up after 120, if I ask you, poor person, did you learn? Poor person says, I didn't have time. So I tell him, Hill only had 1 ruble a day, and he used half of it to pay for the base medish. And one day he couldn't pay, but he went up to the sky roof and then froze stiff as animation stiff on the sky roof to hear his Rebbe. If he can do it, why can't you? The rich man will say, I can't because I'm busy, one here, one there, doing this business meeting, this meeting. So since you're richer than Rebbe Eliezer Ben Shmuel, who was very rich, they owned fields. So once he came through, then the guard was new, he didn't know it was his field. So he made him pay to go through his own field. So if he can do it and find time to learn, why can't you? And everyone will be God. Just like we learned not a couple weeks from Yigash, and also by Chazal Steak in Balak, that when Yosef reveals himself to the brothers, after 22 years long, after a year of arguing with them, making them forgiveness, that we see in next week, they start the forgiveness process by being so upset. Why? Because they have to make them fight to see if they're totally Zocha, Hashem Wa'eda, since they fought to sell him, if they can do the reverse, meaning an immediate reverse, and fight for Binyamin to get free, and they'll know he will forgive him. And he did, and there's a cute story I heard about that. I read in Rabbi Krohn's book. He says, once Reb Moshe Feinstein, the Posek Ador Tatzal, he was learning, he was talking, a student of his came, and he saw he was talking to 2 people for like a din Torah or something. Afterwards, he turned to one side and said, forgive him. He said, don't worry about it. No. Say forgive him. I said, don't worry about it. No. Say forgive him. Say you muffle. So finally said to muffle. The other guy said, okay, tell him you forgive him. I said, don't worry about it. I said, no. Say forgive him. Don't worry about it. No. Say forgive him. So he did. So after they left, the student went up to the Reb Moshe and said, why are you so insistent having to forgive each other? Don't you know, don't worry about it is the way we forgive today? So Reb Moshe said, you ever wonder why, what you were saying on Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur, about the 10 martyrs, famous 10 martyr rabbis who were killed by the Romans? Why do we have them? The reason is, you look in Parshas V'yigash, when Yosef revealed himself to the brothers, he said, don't worry about it. I was speaking for a reason. I never actually said, I forgive you. So the brothers were still guilty of the sale. So that's why the martyrs had happened. 1 martyr for each one of the brothers that weren't forgiven from Yosef. So right now at the end, I read a story before, and it says this last rabbi in the whole Mishnah, it's the only time you find Reb Shimon ben Chalafta. No other Mishnah you find except this time. This is the only place he's in. People say he's in a Mor. Wrong, he's a Tana. He made the Mishnah. He lived in the same time we read in Nazi, but he's in the Mishnah. A Tana is in the Mishnah, a Mor is not. You won't find Rafa and Abaye in the Mishnah, because they're Amors, they're only in the Mor. But since Rav Shimon Chalafta made it once, he must be a Tana. So it says at the end, Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta. Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta said, Lo matzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu kilim b'chasik Baruch Hu Yisrael Allah Shalom. You do not find a HaKadosh Baruch Hu that can have a kli to clean all the bracha of Yisrael with peace. Meaning, even if you have the biggest pot plea like you had in the 1920s when you read all for the boss, the Machom Hashem who lives here in Mattersdorf shows you that they have these big pots. The Rosh Hashanah in those big gigantic pots, you have bakeries and stuff that hold all the blessing of bracha for Yisrael. But peace. Shneimar, as it says, that we say every Friday night and every Shabbos morning in Bifat Torah, right? Hashem os liyamo yitein, Hashem os liyamo yitein, Hashem yivarech zemo v'shalom. Hashem will give us strength to give, and Hashem will give His nation peace. And that's all we need. We need a peace that now, hopefully, that Hanukkah is coming up tomorrow, Moshe Shabbos. Just as Hashemite knew they had a fight in the Greek exile because people were going off the becoming Hellenists. Same thing, Hashem should give a bracha to our tzahal and our leaders in our government and our armies to help fight our modern day Greeks called Palestinians and help they will run for the hills this year.
And we should have peace.
Peace. Salik Mesechas Boksim Vechulu Mischai Taros V'Nachmot Shisha Siri Mishnah. Salik Mesechas Uksin Vechulu Meschayatu Taros V'Nachmot Shisha Siri Mishnah. Salik Mesechas Uksin V'Kulu Mesechas Taros Shu Shisha Mishnah. Hadon Lach Shitei Siri Mishnah Hadon Lach. Dadon Lach Shisha Siri Mishnah Vadin Lach. Dashna Milach Shitei Siri Mishnah. Hello, Asim Milan, Hello, Adim, Hello, Hadassah. Hadon Allah Shetei Sherei Mishnah B'Hadrachman. Tatan Allah Shetei Sirei Mishnah B'Hadrachman. Hello, Nishnah Milach Shetei Sirei Mishnah. Hello, Nishnah Milan, Hello, Adim, Hello, Hadassah. Hadon Allah Shetei Sirei Mishnah B'Hadrachman. Daitan Allah Shetei Sirei Mishnah B'Daitachlan. Hello, Nishnah Milach Shetei Sirei Mishnah. Hello, Nishnah Milan, Hello, Adim, Hello, Hadassah. However, now I know Hina at the way so second Bios al Kabizo. Venan, Kulan, and Acham Sino, but to say, Zainu, but a thing on Kabizo. Khan Yodesh, Mechavon Day, so Sakalishma. Move, Tina Kameni, Mitzvah Hili. Hili be Samin, Pukakon, Mango, Bush, Lamlo, Ashkach, Kudara, Kiva, Hayasani, Buruch, Ata, Aranoi, Mavdeni Hokaga, Amen, 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 Selava Ed. Moda ani levenecha anoi lahinu havasinu. Sasanta chalki mashrei beis hamidrash v'lo mashrei karnos. Shani mashkim lahem mashkimim. Ani mashkim l'vei soa lahem mashkim l'vei batilim. Ani amal lahem amalim. Ani amal mekabel zachar v'hem amalim v'einam mekabel zachar. Ani watz v'hem watzi. Ani watz l'chayel l'ala v'hem watzim l'veir shachas. Shnemar v'atal lahim t'vardein l'veir shachas. Anshe damim umirma lo yachsu mehem v'ani aftachbach. Yotzom v'necha anoi elhinu v'havasinu. Shem t'asveni l'asayim tzeder shishazayim mishnah. Kach t'asveni l'askhil safarim achrim l'saman. Damo l'amayin mitoch chavash l'shmor l'sos l'chayim l'tzchol d'vei samadez chavarah. Tus choch t'nayim v'amarayim v'azamideh chayim ha'anis karim. L'seder taharos v'chol ha'asfarim. Shlamti Yamoli Azari Zara Azari Shlos Mushkata Hakadon Pim of his Aris Vazara Zari Metavala Vakini Vikunya Banami Crash Basil Balachach Nano Asach Bashkaf Tishmor Lecha Vikasasa Heat Tishka Kimi Yuri Lecha as well Lechash Nas Kaim Orchmi Bamina Masmoa Ashir Bachlod and I was on my twin and I birthed to Islam. Lados Lel Shabach Lafail Name Lardir Lenetak or Conservation was because David Ben Ishai Af Hamshi Khala. Baskak Nakini Bar Kavta Kakhini. Fuham Beravan Washkis, Valachi Pobre Mazo. Ashri Hageber Asheta Saya. Murasaka Saladeno. Ani Kasaki Gilab Chief Laka. Ashil Maki Olai. Sos Assist Bernard Taken Ashibil High. Ki Hilbishani Kid Nagdi Yasha. Neil Sidakaya Tani. Gikhasin Yahain Peir Vakala. Tera Kalea, the Club Kadesh Makala Sepshaklanai. Circle Varana, the Gilas again for the Kashmir. Yergi, the Raha, for the Via Odaha, Kin of the Lee, Shua, Church, Bama, University. This may Allah. Amen. Marty, who are seen in Halasa, the Haya, Malaysia, with Saka, the Haya, Oma, and the Vene, Kata, which way, with Shakhalel, Hane, Begama, Oma Akar, Pukhana, Neokara, Mahara. V'asam ha'chana b'shmai la'asrei ونحكي شبخو وقصي بغي بخيخان من أخوان الخاب يسوع أراز بكريك المؤمن يسبراه في شباب يسعرف نان تزاي يسلام إسلام سلاش مني كل شخص وريخو إله بكاب استرشاسا يصابنا خلاص دميم ما المؤمن آن يسرف أول بان بعض مليون وقوة ليس مليون رقم داس إمبراس الدباس كديشة عليكم خلاص عم صار ينا لو نخل شلما ربط كينا بقيت صباح من خايم أريخن وصلني بالبي خايم كنا من كلام محمد مش معايا فراح المؤمن إيش ما بقى مش معايا خايم كملنا أفقاسه المؤمن أو ساش وان الله يسيش وان إلى قاسه المؤمن
شكرا Well, I went and bought one of these. I really haven't received it, but I was playing hooky, but I figured I want one. That's great. What you got? Yeah, I came in that
Well, you really tricked me. I was sure when you said you're going to have it here on Thursday, you're going to bring it before the proceeding. I never expected to see you after the proceeding.
I thought I would be able to be here on
Anyhow, I'm sure they were told the days of the hospital. Right. Good, thank God. I may have asked for it. But yeah. I think for a famine, he told me beforehand, the verb is going to be so ridiculous and he's especially prepared. I felt like, oh my God. I said, well, next time, whatever. And then you came in, it was so fitting, because he really, I think he rose to the occasion. I've never seen him that exhilarated during his speech. It was really good. Now we hold it over one scene. Okay. I don't know who did this. Well, I hope this is a good start.
Yeah, that's good.
So this mix with the Sudas mix right in. That's the way to start. 2-1.
It's more similar to the
I'm making a shackle first. Try to make a shackle before you walk.
Yeah?
The OC is something about drinks.
Satiated by
drinking as well.
after after drinking, after you make it 30 minutes, and then you drink after that, because then you have to bench again the rest. Satiation, because the rice on the bench.
You do it before you bench.
Then we start doing the Chazal.
What community on this? We have pizza.
Pizza. Oh, so you have a place you're gonna know the table.
You don't go to cathedral, but since you have pizza, the things run inside.
Okay.
And they have great cheese too, let's say something.
Does it really make a difference if you have pizza at a table? After all, you can eat meat just, an hour afterwards. You're probably coming over to the table because they have no ice cream, it's a plastic table. Not special boards.
Yeah, please.
We put this on CD, we put it on YouTube. Let's just write down for me, so I don't misspell it. 2 sentences about what was in something.
CD?
What is this?
That's
That's what you told me, because I always said between.
Depends what kind of meat you eat. Maybe 2,000 meat. But this time,
Well, we exchanged for the fullness.
when the meat was the weight of 24 bananas, the chickens and the beef were raised in an open environment.
Oh, much healthier.
Yeah, I mean, the question is whether you can offer, whether you know, the Bulgarians say meat is a lower
I'll have this, maybe they can have it.
Hungarians say that, and probably a lot of other people say that.
I don't care they say, I hear what you say.
Marvelous guy, you probably say, but what cares what I say? No, I've seen enough that I just feel,
Oh, that's the doctor right here. What does the doctor say?
About rape
so say everything, everything in moderation. That's
Probably didn't have pizza in the time.
That's a big research. When was pizza invented? The idea of slicing, somebody adapted the idea of wheat. Because rice noodles in his meat.
One barrel. Outdoor, they just have no money. Very
Along with the environment. then the environment is going to create.
finish eating.
Everybody who, you know, comes up with something that they consider to be new, they invented it, and it's starting with them. I mean, you know, of course, we know that we should credit others to do that, and we always do, we contribute. You know, it wasn't our idea, somebody else's idea, that we're making a big before. Hopefully in a good sort of way.
That's what the patent office says about it. Something like that.
You should try to get the money from them. But you know, I mean, keep in mind, this part of life is fair tracks together. He builds on a building, you know, it's like a tower.
I know why.
And somebody else builds in there.
Bob doesn't have all the ceramics on his office. I'm sure he has some.
It's like,
Oh, very hard.
what was that?
You're going, you should learn it.
This one,
Because you have to know when the shit comes, you have to know how to tell what a negative is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You have to practice it.
It is. It is happening.
Because once Mashiach comes, you have to be perfect to get that cloud.
People barely make people.
I'm going to get a phone on the white carpet too. I'm going to get also playing on the I hope I'm not.
It's all the place for parties.
I hope I'm not. When do we prosper?
That's awesome.
Hello, 2 slices of bread, not bad. Put something on the bread and put something on the bread with 2 of those.
I don't know, it comes from a Broadway show, but I adapted it to, you know,
What are the words?
be my guest.
I hope the Rav Rose will be able to start his shir soon. I'm sure he's very anxious to start his shir. But I'll just say a word or two while he's preparing his sandwich there. That Yaakov mentioned that Hanukkah's coming up. And of course, now is the important time to prepare ourselves. On Motzei Shabbos, we'll be rushing home from shul, and we'll be, thank you, we'll be hopefully lighting as soon as we run home, and then we have Havdalah. It's not a lot of time to think before we light the first candle, what we're doing. But obviously, the main idea is that we're lighting a spiritual light more than even a physical light, to show ourselves that we can dispel the darkness